Okay, so we're going to assess these brows. You can see on the tails here, sharp angle, maybe some little tiny hairs that are coming out will let me know that the actual shape actually would fill in should we let it go. A little bit in here, and same with in here. So these are little tiny assessments that you want to take into consideration when you're shaping the brow for tattooing. So right now we can see just a tiny little bit of asymmetry. I usually take my pinky right in here, and you can see in conjunction with where the hair is coming up out of the skin, the difference in symmetry just visually. So I already know I might want to bring a few strokes just a tiny bit lower to balance this out, and then also maybe extend a few right here, and recommend that my client doesn't trim too much. But you can see optically, if she doesn't trim this, it could be like a thicker brow. So there's a little tiny bit of asymmetry, and that can happen with all kinds of reasons. It can be simply just the muscle movement in itself and the repetitiveness of that. The other thing I start to look at is where they start and stop in the front here, and the niche of the nose, which is obviously right here, and then the pink of the eye. So the pink of the eye is the inner canthus, and that sweet spot is kind of where you want them to start coming in. And it looks like she's doing a really great job at keeping them pretty symmetrical. So you can see why there might be just a couple little hairs missing or that were growing right here. So she widened it just a little bit to be a little more symmetrical. So I really like that. And then we kind of look at this transition going into the arch. Tattoo wise, I would prefer to probably see a little less sharpness. Tattoo wise, I wouldn't want to bring anything higher than what's naturally growing. We have to find a happy medium that's gonna make her look a little bit more balanced. And we can see that there's a little additional hair kind of missing in here that we're gonna wanna like fill in to get this to be a beautiful line all the way to here, and then transition this. Now the tails are looking really good. I would say they're the lower part of where I'd like to see them. So I personally like to see the tails start to angle towards the top half of the ear. So a little bit out as opposed to down, because when gravity actually gets a hold of us, and you're so young that you're not even thinking about this, but tattoo wise, we really have to think about this. Tattooing the eyebrows where the tails are pointing too far down or maybe too long can actually be accentuated when we get older and the gravity takes effect. So we're gonna assess that, not only laying down drawing, but then I'm gonna stitch you back up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some skin antiseptic and get your brows clean, and then we're gonna draw. Yay. Okay, now that the skin has been cleaned, once again, we kind of keep in mind the assessment that we originally had. So we're going to tilt your head up just a smidge. We're gonna elongate these a tiny little bit. And we can always use a little bit of a micro brush to erase the bottom, to shorten it back out if we have just a little bit too long. That's already looking a little bit better. And while we were talking, these are her pain points that we already picked out with our first assessment. So we stretch the skin and space out the strokes. so that your hair strokes have room to breathe. And you can easily put secondary hair strokes in between when you're tattooing to help fill the space. Look how amazing. Oh my God, I just hit the camera. I come over to this side. Actually, I'm gonna make these, I think, a little more horizontal, so I'm gonna remove them. I'm paying close attention to the flow of the hair that she already has, so we can keep it visually looking as natural as possible. Us a little bit of room to add a few secondary strokes to fill in. The catch with tattooing as well as trying to blend with existing hairs is the 2D and 3D. So it can take the 2 sessions that I work on clients on to build up the density here. It can look like it's a 2D look, right? It's pencil under the dermis. Well, pencil on the skin, but the tattoo will be under the dermis. And then the hairs are gonna be on top. So you're gonna see that visual push and pull, and we'll need to add density and a little bit of texture next time as well to kind of make everything a little more prominent and a little more dynamic. And it's super unrealistic to think that you're gonna do that only in one session. So as long as you set up your expectations with your client, like this is the reason you come back for a touch-up, because this could all be a little light, it could be a little bit different. You can use makeup after a week to kind of fill it in if you need to, but now you have like a perfect guideline to make it super easy to fill in. What I like to do is do one eyebrow and then give my client the mirror and kind of confirm, like, am I going in the right direction? And then I will need to do the other side, of course. So here's the, okay, should I go ahead and do the other side? And then we assess, like, with you setting up, and you can even take selfies and stuff and see, like, if you're really vibing with it, because it's significantly different than maybe what you were drawing. But again, you don't have to be married to this. We're just drawing and going over the reasons of like why I would do your brows like this, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, cool. So come over this way, and I feel like there's a tiny little bit of density that could be right in here. And if we wanted to make this, like, I wouldn't trim these over here and see what they kind of look like. Take a look at that now. Just doing that little tiny bit. If this was a little longer, it would be almost symmetrical.
So, I can see that.
So if we just let that grow, you're gonna be not even really needing the tattoo or anything here. Okay, let's take a look at these. Go ahead and look at the side along with the other. Your brows, painstakingly, perfectly drawn out, as humanly symmetrical as we possibly can after setting you up. And we've decided not to tattoo up here. We're gonna let this grow and not cut it anymore so that it can start to grow. We're gonna see what kind of height this gives. Because if I do a bunch of hair strokes here, do a bunch of hair strokes to match that there, the hair strokes, if they're too close together, are gonna bleed together over time. And if I just do a few hair strokes, this whole side is gonna look way more fluffy than this side. So we are taking an educated, professional decision to not work on the front of the brow right here this time, and we're gonna give it the 8 weeks of healing time for the rest of the eyebrow to see what grows in without trimming and modifying it. All right, I'm gonna start with this tail over here. I'm gonna do a little bit, and then we're gonna test what it looks like by taking off where I just went. We'll go in the center of this hair stroke, pencil hair stroke here, and then out, and then center of this stroke, and out.
Oh, that's real good.
So at this point, if I don't get what I'm seeing hair stroke wise with the saturation or the needle not working, I'm gonna change the needle. I'm gonna change my hand pressure. I'm gonna change something about how I'm set up to make it work. But we're gonna keep moving forward because that looks really good. From the center of the stroke and work the way out. Looks good. How's it feeling? A little scratchy?
Feels fine, yeah, a little bit. It's funny now, I'm feeling it after doing it to so many people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's real good. Oh, that's real good.
It's gonna get even more spicy towards the front, so go ahead and take
I
a
can tell.
take a deep breath. Okay, here's a tissue if you need it. If you need to blot, let me know. If you feel like you have to sneeze, also let me know.
I will.
And I want to be able to just get these few hair strokes in here that are super important and structural. And then I can put numbing topical on you to continue.
Let's get started. Oh, that's real good.
Can I blot my eye real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. Watch your fingers.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
You've got to get a hold of yourself.
Breathe, 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 breathe. You're doing amazing, and we have some strokes in here that we're gonna be able to build on. I just gotta get this painstakingly perfect drilling in here.
Let's get started.
It gets obviously more spicy the closer to the nose we go.
Oh, that's real good.
Couple more right here, and then we'll be good to work on the other side. Okay, I'm gonna get the numbing topical for you. I used it on lips the other day, and I really liked it. So now we're gonna try it on your brows. I also did it on eyeliner too, and my client was really happy about it.
You've got to get a hold of yourself.
We're over here now.
Let's get started. Oh, that's real good. Oh, that's real good. You've got to get a hold of yourself.
just a couple of those sparse areas under here. Awesome. I'll get some numbing on you here.
Oh, that's a weird feeling. It's like I can feel it, but I can't.
Right, you can like feel my pressure of my hand and like temperature, but okay. So a lot of it will be numb, but areas that I haven't actually tattooed yet will be probably not numb, but it won't be as spicy as like the first pass. Just stretch your skin like so tight. So I'm sorry if it feels like I'm poking you in your eyeball.
It's okay.
from your eye socket, but sometimes. Skin is so sensitive. It's
super red.
so red, like every stroke. Which, it's not the first time I've worked on sensitive skin like yours, but it makes me think that maybe there isn't pigment when there actually is, but there's just like so much redness around it.
Yeah.
So at the very end, when we're looking over everything, we're gonna have to kind of not pay attention to the swelling right now, because it is like a little more swollen.
I can feel it.
And we don't want to like overcompensate shape because of swelling. So that'll be something to just kind of keep in mind when we're looking at it all final. This one's pretty much done. How'd the numbing hold up throughout?
Pretty good, yeah. I only felt the strokes like a couple of times, and it just feels like my eyebrows are really cold.
Okay, rotate all the way this way. We're not too much farther from being done here. We just have a couple little connections and spots on this side. Sometimes the drawing does take longer than the actual tattooing.
But that's okay.
Yeah, we want it to be as humanly symmetrical as possible.
hard when you put two perfectionists in a room.
You are so right.
Switch it up. Switch it up.
I think this is a good stopping point to kind of get some of these hairs and stuff are all gonna grow in and fill this out and then get this growing
Yeah.
so that it's like this side. And obviously like get you healed because you're red and inflamed right now. I'm gonna give you the mirror so you can take a look and tell me what you think.
I'm excited. Woohoo! They look so natural. Oh my gosh. Looks so good.
When they heal, it's just gonna soften and fade, but we just gotta get this basis in here.
Yeah. No, it will definitely fade. But yeah, it looks so good.
So much more balanced than how you came in.
For sure.
Thanks for letting me do them.
Yeah, I love them. Thank you.